Okay, so now we're going to answer some questions. All right, so the first question is from the realist. Um, Letting go of unhealthy relationships. So this is kind of this is very common. I mean, I think that this is a part of where people feel like they have to stay in something. And look, my philosophy around something that's unhealthy is needs to not be in your life. It's not a question. The question is, and I always flip this back around, is why do you have to ask that question? Why do you feel like you don't? What is it that puts you in unhealthy relationships, and why do you stay in them? You need to understand that about yourself. That's more of a question as into how to get out of it. I can tell you how to get out of it. Get out of it. Walk away. Tell them to go to hell. Whatever's going on. But it's not going to solve the issue because, like my mom, who was married 8 times, who was a therapist, right back into a relationship to try to fix another man because she didn't deal with her issues around that or her whatever was that was about. And you have to too. That's a always push back on those questions for you. This is an opportunity for you to now go to work on yourself. Why do I choose unhealthy relationships? Why do I even have to ask how to get out of them? So these are great things to start working on for yourself. All right. Next question. I had it here. Where is it? Okay. How do you quiet your mind? Well, there's different levels maybe of that, but the first thing is when your mind is going, you're overthinking, you're racing, you're getting anxious, whatever's getting you all worked up and everything is usually because you're floating around back in the past. Something's got you triggered. You're just all over here, or you're worried about the future. So you're in your fear. You're all these things that probably ain't even gonna happen, but you're all worked up about it. So how do you calm your mind? You need to get back here, right here, right now, not here, not here, right here. The easiest way to do that, the quickest way to do that for me, gratitude. Be grateful for whatever in your life. And we've got another problem that there's not one thing you can think of about being grateful about. But get into a gratitude state. Again, write things down. Again, journaling is a very big deal. This will put you here and it will take away you dabbling in these places you need not to be. So there's a friendly reminder that to one of my favorites. It's never been a very popular one, but it is one of my favorites. Is right now, this moment is the only moment that matters. So get yourself there. Gratitude. You start floating around, overthinking, whatever. Gratitude. There's other levels, cognitive behavioral therapy, just so you know. Do some research on that stuff. That will help you with some of the tools and some of the things to do. The journaling, the connecting the dots of when those things happen and you're writing things down. And so you can take it further. But immediately, if you want to start working on that, become grateful and you will calm a lot of that stuff down because you're dabbling in places you shouldn't be. Okay. Um, Next question. This is kind of an open-ended one, but I'll point out something kind of what my theme, what I talk about is for me. But so, which were turning points in your life? So the only turning point in my life that I point to right now is that time that I gave up on myself. That is what that's when I started my second life. That's when I realized I only have one life. And when you realize you get to a point where you've given up on yourself and you realize this one life you've been given, and you realize all the the damage you've done to yourself and all the people in your life and around you, and you just get into that and you understand that, um, and you want to be better. Um, that's what flipped it for. That was a big that's the last really giant switch that flipped that moved me into to being better and getting better and wanting to be better. So next question is journaling techniques. And I know this might be just a boring kind of a little tutorial, but journaling is very important in not only clearing your mind, calming it down, clearing it, but also it where I got it from and where it really started engaging in it and really pushed me to do it because I hated journaling before, never took to it, and always excused it away as a valuable tool for me. But when I started learning and getting into cognitive behavioral therapy, and again, one of the things that was with journaling is, for example, when you're dealing with something that's causing problems in your life in the moment, like your anxiety or the overthinking or, um, whatever it could be. So journaling, like with me, I carry it everywhere. So, because it connects dots for me. So let me explain that. So if you're having a problem with the overthinking, so if you have your journal with you, no matter where it is, and you start overthinking, you realize you're sitting in a parking lot in front of a store and you're obsessing about something or whatever's going on, you've got to train yourself and work to get in to pick that journal up and start writing everything down. Not only everything that you're thinking, but here's where we're going to start connecting the dots. Where am I? Who did I just talk to? What did I just eat? What's the weather like? Where did I just come from? Where am I going? Who am I going to visit right now? What all of these things that right now where it's at. So now you're getting these things down. So it just depends on how often things are happening. But say you're an anxious person every day. So now you're over here going to this thing this next day, or you're at this place, or you're still at home, but here comes your overthinking, anxiety, whatever again. You pull that journal out and you write stuff down. And then you do go through your list again. Everybody's list can be different. Where am I? What am I doing? Who did I just talk to? What's the weather like? Did I just come out of the shower, or did I look at myself in the mirror and judge myself? Whatever could be going on with you. So you keep doing that, and sometimes it can be for a couple of weeks, or it may take a few months. But as you go through that, you're gonna be able to then go through all of those things you've written down in all those episodes. You're gonna be able to start connecting the dots. Ah, I just talked to my mom. I'm not putting this on moms. I just I I I just ate sugar this morning, or whatever could change. You start understanding what is putting you there. Because remember, if you don't know where it comes from, you can't fix it. So that's how you start journaling. You just start. And then that's two ways. It clears your mind, it can calm you down, take you out of the overthinking. But again, then having your list to start connecting those dots so you can start understanding where it comes from. You got to jump back for a minute, heal, forgive, come back here so you can move forward in a better state. You'll see those things calm down. It's amazing what journaling will do. And that's a technique. You asked, your words are journaling techniques. That is a technique. That's designed to be that way for you to understand what's happening with you. Journaling maybe this is a good one. Okay, next question. Being fine when feeling lonely. So that's a big one. Again, people connect feeling lonely, loneliness, being alone. A lot of these things get kind of mixed in together and they don't belong together. So, so feeling lonely and being alone are two different things. So when you're feeling lonely, well, why are you feeling lonely? I mean, again, these are things you start needing to understand. Ask yourself these questions. And again, you can also journal about it, connect those dots, and try to figure out, well, when are you lonely? When do you start feeling lonely, and why? And you have to work on understanding where it comes from, and start dealing with that. Being alone is different. There's nothing wrong with being alone. And in fact, you should be your goal. If you're not, you start learning how to be your own best friend. This is that self-worth part. This is all that stuff. I love being alone. I absolutely love it. I love being in my company. I love thinking. So that so I get asked that question a lot about, are you lonely, or are you alone out there, the traveling and this, that, and the other? Not at all. I You can always get around people. You can always put yourself in that environment. What the hard thing to do is creating environments and pushing yourself to spend time alone. That's where you strengthen yourself, and that's where you start understanding yourself and things you need to deal with, so you can be stronger, you can get better, you can heal and forgive. It's you're People that can be alone, do things alone, accomplish things alone, are hands down, my opinion and all my experience, I think and feel, and I feel this way about myself, are the most powerful people in the world. And it's not a promotion of just being a loner or alone all the time. It's the ability to be in that because again, it goes back to all these things that I say. When you wake up in the morning, for the rest of your life, no matter what happens, you're the only one that's always going to be there every single time. So you